This is a one-dimensional line. In this dimension, you need just one value to describe an object's position. Combine a few of these lines and you get a two-dimensional plane, where you need two values to pinpoint something's location. Then stack those planes and you get a three-dimensional cube, our current reality. If we follow that logic, to create a four-dimensional shape, we'd connect two cubes separated along a fourth axis. The result? A tesseract, the 4D analog of the cube. Here's the catch. We're visualizing a 4D object with a 3D model while viewing it on a 2D screen. So every time we bump up our dimension, we add a direction, X, Y, Z, and W. Yet our brains and displays aren't equipped to show something perpendicular to X, Y, and Z. We can't truly perceive 4D in full. When you rotate a tesseract in 4D, its shadow in our 3D world morphs, constantly changing shape. That's because we are only seeing a 3D slice or projection of a higher dimension object, much like a 2D being seeing a sphere passing through their plane. Imagine living in 2D. You can only prove forward, back, and left and right. A sphere passing through your plane appears as a circle, first small, then swelling, then shrinking, then gone. In the same way, a 4D object passing through our 3D space would seem to shapeshift, disappearing and reappearing in weird ways. Some say time is the fourth dimension, but mixing it with space raises paradoxes, like the infamous grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox is a famous time travel paradox that highlights the logical inconsistencies that can arise if one could travel back in time. Imagine a person travels back in time and kills their own grandfather before the grandfather has any children. This would mean that the grandfather never has children, including the time traveler's parent. Therefore, the time traveler is never born. But if the time traveler was never born, then they couldn't have gone back in time to kill their grandfather. So the grandfather must have lived, meaning that the time traveler was born. But then they could go back and kill the grandfather, and so on. This creates a contradictory loop, a paradox. The grandfather paradox exposes the logical breakdown in the idea of changing past events. It suggests that if time travel to the past is possible, then changing the past creates contradictions, making it logically impossible. This kind of causality loop breaks our logic, implying time might not just be another spatial dimension. Dimensions push us to rethink reality. Next time you see a shape morph before your eyes, remember, maybe you're glimpsing the fourth dimension. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.